Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well and having an amazing day so far. Hopefully it's about to get even better now that you have landed on your yoga mat. So welcome. If you haven't practiced with me before, I am Amy and I will be your teacher for this practice. And if you're one of those amazing people who is here every week, thanks for returning. It's amazing to have you here with me again. So this is going to be a full body vinyasa flow. It's going to have lots of twists, lots of side bending, balancing, just a little bit of everything. And we will have the opportunity to explore some more advanced poses such as bird of paradise and flying grasshopper. But of course, everything is optional. So if that sounds like something that you're up for, come and meet me on your mat when you are ready. If you do make it to the end of this practice and you enjoyed it, it would be amazing to hear from you down below in the comments what you thought about it. You can maybe let me know your favourite parts, anything that you did in this practice that you want to work on in future classes, requests for classes that you would like me to film. I'm all ears. I love connecting with you all and replying to your comments. It would also be amazing to get a thumbs up so I know you liked this one. And if you could subscribe, then you can join me for my next practice as well. That would be amazing. Enough chatter from me. Let's get on into our practice by finding our way down onto our backs. As always, as you make your way down, can you find that mindfulness in every single movement? Gently lowering yourself onto your back. And before you arrive in a place of stillness, take a little bit of time to move here. Have a little stretch, have a little wiggle, maybe even a big full body stretch, like you've just woken up, you've just restarted your day. Letting this practice be a moment of reset, time to yourself. And then eventually, once you've explored as much movement as your body is asking for, arriving in a still place, choosing whatever shape you feel like, choosing a shape that you can hold for these next few minutes to really drop into the present moment. Releasing any mental preoccupations or distractions about things that were happening in the past, things that might be happening in the future. Really connecting to those things that are alive for you in this present moment. The movement of your breath, the feelings in your body, the feeling of the mat beneath you. Really drawing your awareness inwards, so tapping into that interoception, that sense of how you're feeling internally. That sense of proprioception, how your body is arranged in space. Knowing that your mind will repeatedly wander off. And each time that you notice it's wandered off, can you view that as a positive rather than a negative? So focusing on the fact that you did notice that your mind had wandered off and that you created an opportunity to strengthen your capacity to return your awareness to the present. Finding those things that help anchor you into this moment. And we'll just be here in stillness for a few more moments. Can you use that time to really deepen your breath? Like you could catch hold of the ends of the exhales, the ends of the inhales, and just gently stretching them out, lengthening them. Making each breath a bit more full, more complete than the breath that came before. And let the breath be something that supports you, something that guides you as you move through this practice. Knowing you can always take breaks so that you can reset that connection to breath if you ever lose it. Just here in stillness for a few more moments. Really enjoy this time. Start to bring movement back in, maybe gather the knees into the chest and take a few little circles on the lower back. So the knees could stay together and move the same way, or they could go away from one another in opposite directions. Switch the direction of your circles. Now let the feet land on the floor at the outside edges of the mat. Start to windshield wipe the legs from side to side, letting them drift left and right. Mobilizing through the hips, lengthening through the sides of the waist, stretching the inner thighs. The next time your legs fall over to the right, let them rest there for a few breaths. External rotation through the right hip, internal rotation through the left hip. Place your right ankle on the outside of your left knee. Let the extra weight from the right leg bring you even deeper into this twist. Keep your shoulders rooted into the mat. Maintain that space across the chest. Keep the right ankle crossed over the left knee. Plant the sole of the left foot on the floor, finding a figure 4 shape. Extend the arms down by your sides. Press the palms into the mat. Breathe in, lift the hips, figure 4 bridge. Breathe out, lower the hips back down. A few more times. Lift it up and lower. Let's do 3. Final 2. Last one, lift up and pause at the top. Lift your left heel, lower, up, down for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heel, lower the hips. Catch the back of the left thigh or the front of the left shin. Pull the left leg in. Maybe use the right elbow to push the right knee away from you. Maybe find a few little circles through the ankles here, both ways. Let go of the legs, extend them up to the ceiling with the right ankle crossed in front of the left ankle. Tuck your thumbs underneath your hips. Keep the lower back pressed into the floor. Lower the legs down any amount. It could be halfway down or all the way to hover. Lift them up. Lower them down. Let's do that a few more times. Finding a pace that works for you, that coordinates with your breath. Only going as far as you can keep the core engaged and that lower back rooted down. Let's do one more time lower. One more time lift. Keep the ankles crossed. Bend into the knees. Catch the edges of the feet with the hands. Pull the heels in towards the hips. Rock from side to side. Keep hold of the feet. Can you rock yourself up? Catch the balance on the sit bones with the feet hovering. Then roll yourself back down. A few more like that. Rock it up, find the balance. Take it down. Last time, rock it up, find the balance and pause. Can you extend the legs? Then bend them back in. A few more times, extend any amount. Pull the heels in. Last time, extend. Last time, bend. Drop the feet onto the floor, cross-legged seat. Reach the arms all the way up. Reach your right arm behind your back, your left arm over to the right. So finding a side bend with the right arm behind the back. Then bring it through center over to the other side. Then keep that movement going from side to side, finding these sweepy side bends with the half bind behind the back. Next time you reach over to the right, pause there. Really press your left hip into the floor to emphasize that length through the left side body. Place the left hand on the right knee. Look over your right shoulder towards the back of the room. You might even be able to nestle your right hip into your left inner thigh. Lift the chest a bit taller, breathe in. Spin a bit further into the twist, breathe out. Unravel face forwards. Place both hands on both knees. Breathe in, pull the heart forward, pull the shoulders back. Breathe out, chin to chest, round the spine. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. One more like that. Breathe in. Breathe out, round. Keep the hands on the knees. Carry on rolling all the way down onto your back. Bring the knees in with you. Now cross over at the knees. So right knee over the front of the left knee. Catch the edges of the feet. Supine Gomukhasana. Pull the heels in towards the hips. Let go of the legs, plant the feet wide. Once again, find those windshield wipes. Maybe the knees make it a little bit further across this time. Maybe you've brought a bit more space into the lower body since we last worked through this movement. Next time the knees fall over to the left, let them rest there for a few cycles of breath. Left ankle on the outside of the right knee. Big expansive breaths, fill your right side body with your breath. Keep the ankle on the knee, step your right foot onto the floor, figure 4. Left toes are flexed back towards the knee, arms extend down by the sides. 5 times, lift the hips and lower. Take it up, lower it down. Let's do 3. Final 2. Last time, lift, pause at the top, lift the right heel, lower, up and down for 3, 2, 1. Drop the right heel, drop the hips, catch your right thigh or your right shin, pull that leg in, energetically push that left leg away. Keep your upper body soft as you stretch through the lower body. Release the grip on the legs, extend them up, left ankle in front of right ankle, thumbs beneath your hips, find those leg lowers, lowering down any amount that feels available. Finding a breath pattern that works. For me, that means inhaling as I lower, exhaling as I lift. Let's do one more time lower. One more time lift. Keep the ankles crossed, bend the knees, catch the feet, pull the heels in, have a little rock. Then rock yourself up. Can you catch the balance? Roll it back down a few more times. Up and down. Last time, bring it up and pause. Can you extend the legs up? Bend them back in. Twice more. Extend and bend. Last time, lengthen. Squeeze the heels in, let go, drop the feet onto the floor, cross-legged seat, arms all the way up, side bend to the left, wrap the left arm behind the back. Then find that sweepy, fluid movement from one side to the other. Next time you reach over to the left, pause. Finding length all the way from right fingertips to shoulder to hip. Right hand on the left knee. Spin to look over your left shoulder. Maybe tuck the left fingertips into the right hip. Lift the chest taller, breathe in. Spin further into the twist, breathe out. Unravel face forward, hands on knees. Breathe in, heart forward, shoulders back. Breathe out, round. 2 more seated cat-cows. Then on this last one, keep the hands on the knees, carry on rolling onto the back, bring the knees in with you, cross left knee over right knee, catch the feet, Supine Gomukhasana, second side. Let go of the feet, uncross the knees, reach the fingertips forward. Can you rock yourself back? Rock all the way up to Utkatasana chair pose, stepping onto the feet, keeping the knees bent. Then rock yourself all the way back, all the way up, Utkatasana chair. Let's do that once more. Meeting in chair, big toes touch, bit of space between the heels. Breathe in. Bend the knees deeper, big breath out. Inhale, stand, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the other side. So it's this sweepy side bend with the arm wrapping behind the back. Keep it going a few more times. You can just speed it up a little bit. Then the next time you're leaning towards the right, pause, right arm behind the back, left arm reaching up and over. Weight into the right foot, big step back with the left foot into a high lunge with the side body stretch. Deep bend into the right knee, big lean up and over, breathe in, breathe out. Straighten both legs, turn to face the long left edge of the mat, toes point in, heels point out. Keep your right hand tucked towards your left hip and bring your left hand to interlace with your right hand. So you've got the fist tucked on your left hip. Left ear drops towards left shoulder. Can you get really heavy through your right shoulder to emphasize that length through the side of the neck? Then neutralize the head, keep the hands interlaced, just bring them down behind the back, push the hips back, the heart forward, hinge at the hips, Prasarita Padottanasana, wide forward fold down in between the legs. Have some movement into the shoulders, into the legs, into the hips. Squeeze the palms together if possible. Release the clasp of the hands, lower the fingertips towards the floor. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Inhale, halfway lift, bring the hands to heart center, turn the left toes to the back of the mat, bend the left knee, Skandasana. You can keep the hands at the heart or lower the fingertips to the floor. Let's travel all the way to Skandasana at the right side. As you do so, lower the right hand down, open the left arm up, finding this twist. Then can you sweep it over to the other side, place the left hand down, open the right arm up. A few more times, right hand to the top of the mat, left arm up, Skandasana. Left hand to the back of the mat, right arm up, Skandasana. One more time to the top of the mat. One more time to the back of the mat and pause there. Right arm up, breathe in. Tap the right hand on top of the left hand, breathe out. Rainbow it up, big inhale. Tap it down, big exhale. Last time like that, breathe in. Breathe out. Now open the right arm up and pause. Can you lift your left hand to hover away from the mat as well? Keep the right arm reaching up to the ceiling the whole time. Travel into a low twist at the top of the mat. So plant the left hand, reach the right arm up as you bend your front knee. Left knee is lifted away from the floor. Breathe in here. Breathe out, revolve Skandasana. Roll onto the edges of the feet, drop your left hip onto the floor. Inhale, lift the hips up, rainbow the right arm forwards. Exhale, lower it down. One more like that. Big breath in. Big breath out. Now this time let's lift up and pause. Can you lift your right foot, step it up and over all the way into a wild thing? Big breath in. Big breath out. Option to play around with a floaty wild thing, lifting your right toes away from the floor, and then maybe bring your right hand to catch the front of your right ankle. Release that, lower the right hand onto the floor, pull the right knee into the chest, then place the right shin down on the mat. Lift your left leg away from the floor, bend into the elbows, tap the chin and the chest down. Straighten the arms, drop the left toes, pull the right knee into the nose. Lower the right leg, lift left, bend. Straighten the arms, pull the right knee in. Do that a few more times. Next time your right knee is pulling in towards your nose, pause there. Then push your right leg back into a three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip, draw some big circles with the knee one way and the other. Then straighten and sweep the leg high, breathe in. Shoulders over wrist, knee to nose, breathe out. Inhale, sweep it back. Exhale, squeeze in. Last time, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot forward in between the hands. As soon as it lands, lift the back leg into a standing splits. Use your left glutes and hamstrings to lift that leg a little bit higher. Fold your chest down over your right thigh. Breathe in here. Jiva squat, breathe out. Hands to heart center, warrior three. Hands free Jiva squat, keep the hands at the heart, bend it down. One more time, warrior three. Jiva squat. Into your warrior three, pause. Step left foot next to right foot so you land in a flat back shape. Ardha Uttanasana, hands to heart center. Engage the core here. Think about lifting your belly button up and back towards your spine. A sense of upward facing dog through the chest and shoulders. Then release, forward fold down over both legs. Maybe a little moment in ragdoll here, catching opposite elbows, swaying side to side, pedaling the legs. Let's twist. Left hand onto the floor, right arm up to the ceiling, big breath in. Lower it back down, big breath out. Over to the other side, inhale. Down through center, exhale. Roll all the way up to stand, reach your arms up. Side bend over to the left, taking it to the second side. Then find those sweepy side bends. Moving one way, then the other, wrapping the arm behind the back as you go. Next time you're leaning over to the left, pause. Your left hand is wrapped around the outside of your right hip. Big step back with your right foot. Bend the front knee. Find this side stretch crescent lunge. Bend the front knee even more. Drop those hips down even lower. Big breath in. Big breath out. Straighten both legs, turn the toes in, the heels out as you face the long right edge of the mat. Right hand comes to interlace with your left hand and they're tucked at your right hip. Drop right ear to right shoulder. Lengthen the left side of the neck. Bring the hands so they're just behind the back. Once again, hinging at the hips, so think pushing hips back. Pushing heart forwards and then down, folding in between the legs. Take any movement that feels called for this time around. Maybe you can fold down a little bit further than you did last time. Release the clasp of the hands and lower the hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stay in the fold or take a headstand or take a forearm stand. Any inversion that's calling to you here. Choice is yours. Just a few breaths to get upside down. If you're upside down, starting to find your way back into your fold. Let's all find that flat back with hands at heart center, core is engaged. Turn your right toes to the back of the mat, bend your right knee, drop it down, Skandasana. Right hand down, left arm up to the ceiling. Then can you travel all the way to left side Skandasana, planting the left hand, opening the right arm up in one big movement. Take it over to the other side. Let's do that a few more times. Bend the left knee, plant the left hand. Bend the right knee, plant the right hand. Last time over to the left. Last time over to the right, then pause. Reach the left arm up even more. Breathe in. Tap left hand on top of right hand. Breathe out. Inhale, open up. Exhale, lower. Last time like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now let's open up and pause. Keep your left arm reaching up. Hover your right hand away from the floor. Big travel into a twisted lunge at the top of the mat. Bend the left knee. Plant the right hand. Rainbow your left arm up to the ceiling. Breathe in. Revolve Skandasana. Breathe out. Drop onto your right hip. Inhale, lift the hips up. Rainbow the left arm forwards. Exhale, lower down. Keep it going. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's lift up and pause at the top. Step your left foot up and over into Wild Thing. Big breath in. Big breath out. Maybe hover the left toes and catch the top of the foot or the front of the ankle with the left hand. Big breath in. Big breath out. Let go of that left leg if you had it. Let's all lower the left hand down. Pull the left knee in towards the chest. Then place the left shin down on the floor. Lift your right leg back behind you. Bend the elbows. Tap the chin and the chest down. Straighten the elbows. Drop the right toes. Pull the left knee in. A few more times. Keep that movement going. One more of each. Pause with your left knee squeezing in towards your nose. Straighten and sweep the left leg high. Three-legged dog, bend the knee, open the hip, circle it out one way. Then the other. Then straighten and sweep the leg high, breathe in. Knee to nose, breathe out. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, squeeze in. Last time. Breathe in. Breathe out, knee to nose. Step the foot in between the hands. Standing split. Sweep your right leg high up to the sky. Breathe in. Jiva squat, breathe out. Inhale, warrior three. Hands to heart center. Exhale, Jiva. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, Jiva squat. Last time into warrior three, pause, spine is long. Step right foot next to left foot, stay in this flat back shape. Core is engaged. Now reach your right arm forward, reach your left arm back. Then switch. Keep that going. Switch. Switch a few more times. Keep the face soft, keep the core strong. One more of each. Okay, and then release, ragdoll, uttanasana, fold it down, take anything that calls to you here. Let's twist it out once again. Left hand down, right arm up, breathe in. Down through center, breathe out. Over to the other side, big inhale. Down through center, big exhale. Roll it all the way up to stand. Both arms reach up to the ceiling, breathe in. Twist towards the right, breathe out. Left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale through center. Exhale over to the other side and pause. Now we just want to twist from the upper body here. So notice if your left hip is opening out. Can you draw it forwards in line with your right hip? And at the same time, keep opening the left shoulder back. Palms facing the floor. Weight into your right foot. Big step back with your left foot into Virabhadrasana 2. Lifting the arms so they're at the height of the shoulders. Breathe in. Bend the front knee deeper. Breathe out. Now inhale, reverse. Wrap your left arm behind your back. Right arm reaches up and back behind you. Exhale, extended side angle. Right arm behind the back. Left arm out in front of you. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side. A few more times. Core engaged here to support you in these side bends. Next time you reverse it, straighten the front leg, find a reverse triangle. Keep the left arm wrapped behind the back. Step onto your right foot, find a half bound, half moon. Left arm wrapped behind the back, and maybe your right hand is floating away from the floor. Big breath in. Big breath out. Now stay facing the left side. Lower your right fingertips onto the floor if they weren't already. Step your left foot down next to your right foot and find a deep bend into your right knee. Bring your right arm in between your legs, then around the back of the right thigh. Then maybe the fingertips find one another, binding that right leg. Of course, you can stay here or experiment with bird of paradise. Stepping onto the left foot, lifting your right leg away from the floor, coming all the way up to stand. You can keep the leg bent or experiment with extending the leg up towards the ceiling. One more breath. Rebend the knee if you extended it. Deliver the foot back down into this bound twist. Unravel the arms, find a forward fold down over both legs. Left hand, left hip, right peace fingers and thumb catch the right big toe. Stand, bring your right leg up and out with you. Can you lift that leg to the height of the hip or even higher? Now keep the right leg lifted, let go of it. Reach both arms up to the ceiling. Sweep your right leg back behind you, reach the arms out in front of you, warrior 3. Big step back into a high crescent lunge. Frame the front foot with the hands, take it into a figure 4 down dog, cross left ankle over the front of the right knee. Push the hips back. Can you press your right heel down towards the floor? Keep the figure 4. Start to walk the hands to meet the feet, finding a figure 4 fold. Then start to lift the hands, bring them to heart center, and can you lower your left elbow onto your left knee and your right elbow onto your left heel. Notice if you're really rounding through the upper back. So even though you're hinged down, can you still maintain a little bit of space and openness there? Now, more than welcome to stay here for a few more breaths, or if you want to try flying grasshopper, I'm just going to hop to the side of my mat to make a little bit more space, but you can stay where you are if that works. See if you can bring your left elbow towards the sole of your left foot. Keep that elbow hooked there. Place your hands down on the mat with your fingertips pointing towards the long right edge of your mat. Start to bend the elbows, think chaturanga arms, and lift your right leg, extend it so it's pointing towards the front of the mat. Then can you come back out in reverse? Step the foot back in, come back into that twisty figure 4. Unravel into your regular figure 4. Bring the right hand onto the right hip. Catch the left big toe with the left piece fingers and thumb. Stand. Extend your left leg straight out in front of you. Let go of it. Keep it lifted. Place the hands on the hips here. Step your left foot halfway down the mat and turn your right toes so they're pointing towards the long right edge out at a 45-degree angle. Right arm reaches up to the ceiling, then hinge forwards and down. Place the right hand maybe to the outside of your left foot. Parivrita, Trikonasana, revolve triangle. Working to stack left shoulder above right shoulder. Maybe spin your gaze up towards your left thumb. One more big breath in. Fold down over your left leg as you breathe out. Bring the right hand to the inside of the foot if you had it on the outside edge. Then option here to play around with flying flamingo. I actually can't remember the real name for it, but I think flying flamingo is quite an appropriate fit. So bring your fingertips to point towards the back of the mat now. Lean the hips back, bend into your right knee. Maybe stay there, or maybe lift the right heel, squeeze it in towards the glutes. Now can you step your right foot next to your left foot and press into a toe balance, falling along the way, lifting the hands, bring them to heart center. So you're about halfway down the mat. Then drop your knees to the floor. Lift the hips up away from the heels. So you should be a bit closer to the front of the mat now. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. Breathe in. Swim the hands either onto the lower back or onto the heels. Ustrasana, camel. Push your hips forward. Keep them stacked above the knees. So often people come into camel, but they lean really far back. So they're not actually getting any further into the back bend. They think they are because they're reaching their heels, but they're not quite. So keep those hips stacked on the knees. Push your heart up a little bit more. Press yourself back up out of camel. Let's sit down on the heels. Enjoy a few moments to stretch out through the soles of the feet. You can use the fingertips to bring all of the toes in contact with the mat. Find a tall spine. Connect to your breath. Can you lean back and return to your toe balance? Press yourself all the way up to stand on your tiptoes. Then take a little hop and land in Malasana at the top of the mat. Bending the knees, dropping the hips down low. Nice. Right hand down, left arm up, twist. Bring it back through center. Take it over to the other side. Back through center. Let's do one more each way. Breathe in. Breathe out. Over to the other side. Back through center. Now stand, reach the arms up to the ceiling, lift the heels at the top, lower it all the way back down. A few more times, all the way up, all the way down. Last time, bring it all the way up and pause. Turn the toes to point forward, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach your arms up, lengthen the sides of the waist, breathe in. Twist to face the left. Breathe out. Inhale, center. Exhale over to the other side and pause. Draw your right hip forward as you revolve your right shoulder back. Big step back with the right foot into warrior two on the second side. Inhale, reverse, right arm behind the back, left arm by the ear. Exhale, extended side angle, left arm behind the back. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, reach it forwards. Keep that going a few more times. Now reverse it and straighten the front leg. Find reverse Trikonasana. Keep the right arm wrapped behind the back. Step onto the left foot. Find Add a Chandrasana with the bind. Maybe the left hand can stay floating a few inches above the floor. Stay facing the right side. Place the left hand down. Bend the left knee as you step your right foot next to your left foot. Once again, opportunity for bird of paradise. Tuck your left arm in between your legs, then around the back of the left thigh. Maybe the right and left fingertips find one another. Stay in the bind or explore standing onto your right foot and lifting your left leg up along the way. Potentially extending the left leg up to the ceiling. B-O-P, bird of paradise. If it was extended, re-bend the left knee. Deliver it all the way back down into this twist. Unravel, forward fold over both legs. Right hand, right hip. Left piece, fingers and thumb to the left big toe. Stand and take your left leg straight out in front of you. Notice if you're swaying forwards or backwards through your torso, can you maintain that stack of shoulders above hips? Let go of the left leg, keep it lifted. Reach the arms alongside the ears. Sweep it back. Virabhadrasana 3. Step it into a high crescent lunge. Frame your right foot. Cross right ankle over left knee. Figure 4, downward facing dog. Walk the hands to meet the feet. Find a figure 4 fold. Then bend into your left knee as you lift the hands. Standing figure 4, standing pigeon. Maybe the elbows lower onto your right leg. Of course, you can stay here for a few breaths, or if you want to explore the balance, again, I'm just going to rearrange myself slightly so I don't collide with walls and doors. Let's bring right elbow onto the sole of the right foot. Then lower the hands down off the long left edge of the mat. Bend into the elbows, lift your left foot, extend it towards the top of the mat. Re-bend that left foot back onto the floor. Return to the twisted version for a moment, feeling wobbly on this side. Bring it back through center. Left hand, left hip, right fingers around the right big toe. Stand up, Padangusthasana, big toe pose. Let go of the right leg, keep it lifted. Hands to the hips. Step the right foot halfway down the mat. Angle your left toes out 45 degrees. And use the hands on the hips as feedback here to ensure that they're square. So you might find the left hip is opening back. Try and draw it forwards in line with the right. Reach your left arm up to the ceiling. Hinge at the hips, left arm forward, then down. Maybe it reaches to the outside of the foot as the right arm spirals up and open. Notice here if your hips are really veering off to the right, can you tuck your right hip in and under and maybe nudge your left hip forward a bit. Lower the right hand down so the hands are framing the right foot, pyramid. Option for that flying flamingo or whatever it might be called, I can't remember. Fingertips pointing towards the back of the room, angled behind you. Bend into your left knee. Maybe squeeze the left heel in towards the glutes. Then can you step left foot next to right foot? Roll onto your tiptoes as you lift the hands, knees are hovering, toe balance, nice. Whatever happened along the way, just meeting here, finding the fun. It's just yoga, not too serious. If you fell, have a laugh, let go of any frustration. Let's place our knees down on the floor, lift the hips up, keep those hips above those knees, arms reach up and back, then onto the heels, Uttanasana, camel pose. One more breath. Then work your way back upright, hips onto the heels, find that stretch for the toes once again. Now, hands at the heart, lift the knees away from the floor once again, and then open the knees out wide to the sides. So your heels are pointing in, your knees are pointing out. See if you can thread your hands towards the front of your ankles and then wrap them around the back of the ankles, finding this funky bound situation. Release from that. Now let's plant the hands on the floor, bring the knees onto the backs of the arms, find a crow pose if it's in your practice and you feel like giving it a go. Can you tap left toes to the floor? Lift, tap right, lift, left, lift. Last time, right, lift, pause in your crow. Step both feet wide, land in Malasana, top of the mat. Right hand down, left arm up, twist. Back through center, over to the other side. Back through center, take it over to the right arm, pause, take a bind, left arm behind the back, right arm around the shin. Unravel, take it to the other side, bind if it felt good on the other side. Unravel, place the hands down on the floor, step, hop, jump or float back into a chaturanga, landing with bent elbows. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, is this the first regular down dog of practice? It could well be. So let's enjoy a little bit of time here. Move around, pedal out through the legs, wiggle through the hips, shimmy through the shoulders. Come up onto the tiptoes, drop both heels over to the left. Find a deep bend into your left knee as you straighten through the right knee. And can you reach your right hand for the heel of your left foot? Can you cup the heel in the hand? Then can you slide that hand so it's just on the outside edge of that foot? Shift yourself into a fallen triangle variation, extending that left leg towards the top of the mat, bringing the left shoulder over the left wrist. Release, step it back, downward facing dog. Over to the other side, come onto the tiptoes, drop the heels over to the right, bend deeply into your right knee, lengthen through your left knee. Left hand catches the heel of the right foot. Can you find a little bit of a pull on that to spin further into the twist? Then slide the hand so it's holding the outside edge of the foot. Bring the right shoulder over the wrist as you lengthen that right leg straight out to the left side. Release, step it back, downward facing dog. Wave it forward onto the tiptoes, lower it down all the way onto the belly. Breathe in, cobra. Breathe out, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last time, big breath in. Big breath out. Now extend both arms straight out in front of you. Pinky fingers down, thumbs point up. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the legs. Exhale, lower. Lift, breathe in. Lower, breathe out. Let's do 3. Last time, lift up to your highest point and pause. Open your right arm back. Reach it forward. Left arm back and forward. Right, forward, left, forward. Let's do one more of each. Reach both arms forward. Take one more big breath in. Release everything down. Release your breath out. Lift the head away from the hands, place the hands next to the ribs, push yourself up to sit on the heels. Then as you make your way to a seat, a few ways to get there, you could sit off to one side, swing the legs forward, or my favourite way, hands into fists, either side of the thighs, press into the hands, lift the legs to hover, then swing them out in front of you, but choose whatever way works. Keep your right leg lengthened long in front. Ardha Gomukhasana, left leg crosses up and over. Let's add the arms. Right arm up and over, left arm down and back. Maybe clasp the fingertips. Can you think about pulling your right elbow up and pulling your left elbow down? Release that clasp, forward fold down over the legs. You could always fold with the clasp if you enjoy it. Personally, I do not, but if you like it, more than welcome to go for it. You might even rest your chin down on your left knee, that little bit of support for the head. Draw yourself back upright, let the hands meet at heart center, hook your right elbow outside of your left knee, press elbow into knee, knee into elbow, use that contact point. Let it spin you further, deeper into this twist. Start to walk the hands off the long left edge of the mat, fold down over your left thigh, maybe even lower onto the forearms here, but make sure your right hip is still grounded into the mat. Keep your left arm where it is. Reach your right arm up and over, big side body stretch. Bring it back up. Place the hands down on the floor behind you with the fingertips pointing forwards and extend your left leg on top of your right leg. So your left ankle is on top. Lean back into the hands, lift the legs any amount. Lower the heels, press into the hands, lift the hips. Keep that movement going, down with the hips, up with the legs, down with the legs, up with the hips. Pushing the hips as high as you can when you lift them up, really rolling the shoulders down and back, pushing the chest high. Next time the hips are on the floor, let's stay down, keep the cross of the ankles, reach the arms up, breathe in. Cross ankle fold and cross over at the wrists as well. Cross left wrist on top of right wrist and maybe reach for the edges of the feet. Roll yourself back up, uncross the ankles, give the legs a little wiggle to reset. Then let's take it to the second side. Right leg over, Gomukhasana legs with your left leg active, toes pointing up. We'll add the arms, left elbow up, right elbow down. See if you can find that clasp. Pull down with the right, pull up with the left, push your heart forwards. So notice if you're collapsing and rounding like this, can you really push forwards and open? Release the clasp of the arms, if it felt good to, and fold over the legs. Like I said last time, you could keep the clasp if you enjoy that variation in a fold. Bring it back upright, hands to heart center, twist. Left elbow, right knee. Push the elbow into the knee. Maybe even look back over your right shoulder. Place the hands down off the long right edge of the mat, maybe even down on your forearms. Right arm stays grounded, left arm reaches up and over. Bring it back up, extend your right leg so the ankle is crossed on top of the left ankle. Hands onto the floor behind you. Lean back into the hands so you can lift the legs. Lower. Lift the hips. Lower. Do that a few more times. Next time you're down, stay down. Reach the arms up, cross the right wrist over the left wrist. Reach for the feet. Soften the chest down over the thighs. Draw yourself back upright. Uncross through the ankles, shimmy a little bit further forwards towards the front of the mat if necessary. Point through the toes, reach through the arms, lower towards your back, but pause when the shoulder blades are hovering. Lift your right leg, lower, lift your left leg, lower, lift your right arm, lower, lift your left arm, lower. Now right arm and right leg, lower, left arm, left leg, and lower. Let's do that a few more times. Right and left. Keep it going. Let's do one more each way. Last little bit of spice. Then release, pause. Can you hover both feet away from the floor? Can you reach your biceps alongside your ears? Then release all the way down onto the back. Catch the knees into the chest. Give them a squeeze. Have a rock. Find so much expansion that you can feel your thighs being pressed away from you with that in-breath. And then let all of the breath go so the legs draw back in towards you with your out-breath. Take the time here for any final movement, any final shapes, final stretches, anything else that might be calling to you to round off your practice before settling into your final rest. Choosing a shape to end your practice, and if you're tempted to finish now without taking time for Shavasana, I would just gently encourage you to hang around for a few more minutes, knowing that you deserve this time in stillness. Regardless of how much movement you've done, you would deserve this time in stillness. But especially after that strong practice, your body deserves this time to unravel and unwind, to find balance and equilibrium in your mind, body and breath. Releasing any lingering tension. Releasing any restrictions on the movement of your breath. Any limitations on the contents of your mind, and just settling. Enjoy these final moments here to yourself, and then we'll be together to finish our practice in a few moments. I'll guide us back out of it. If you have the time for a longer Shavasana, that is always welcome, always encouraged. If you are ready to move on, start to welcome movement back into your body. Could start off small and gentle with fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Let the movement get bigger, more expressive, more expansive, take up more space. Eventually, work your way back towards a comfortable seat. Get there whichever way feels best, however long it takes. There's no need to rush. You can pause me, linger for as long as you would like along the way. When you do arrive in your seat, check in with your posture one final time. Nice, long, spacious spine, broadening across the chest and shoulders, chin dropping in slightly. And we'll finish our practice with 3 releasing breaths together. Both arms up overhead, breathe in. Press the air away, exhale, sigh out. Twice more, breathe in. Breathe out. Last time, big inhale. Big exhale. Let the hands rest down on the knees, finding this sense of grounding. A grounding in of all the things that you shifted, that you changed, that you cultivated in this class, that you want to carry with you into the rest of your day until the next time you arrive on your mat again. And for the rest of your day, as always, I hope you think peaceful thoughts, I hope you speak peaceful words, and I hope you feel peace in your heart. Thank you so much for choosing to share your practice with me today. I hope you had fun taking on those challenges. Like I said at the start, it would be amazing to hear from you in the comments what you thought about it. Your feedback is always appreciated and welcomed. It would also be amazing to get a thumbs up so I know you enjoyed. And if you could subscribe, you can join me on your mat next time as well. But more important than any of those things is to stay healthy, stay happy, stay well, and have an amazing day.